Now, y'all check this out. This is an interview with Admiral Byrd, who is allegedly the one that flew over the ice wall and seen, not only seen the land masses that are there, but also was escorted from the sky uh, by the people or beings that live neighboring our land masses. And it makes you think a lot about Pink Floyd album, The Wall. But let's go ahead and get more into it.
Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole.
Check this out now. There's no such thing as a South Pole. There's only one pole, Polaris, which is the star aligned with the center of our landmass. So there is only, well, north, there's no such thing as north. North is actually center.
Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole because
The answer is yes, there is other land masses. You dig?
But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do.
Well, Admiral,
Yeah.
would you say that since you've been to both the extremities of Earth, are these expeditions to such far-off places, are they getting easier because of modern techniques, or is danger still close at hand?
Well, it's a little risky, but nothing like it used to be with the old slow planes and the small cruising radius where we had to put down bases. We replaced the dog teams, and of course that was a big improvement. But now the planes go much faster and they are safer and they have a much bigger cruising radius. You haven't got the danger of a terribly heavy load.
Admiral, an expedition to which I believe you're the advisor is now en route. What is that expedition doing?
Well, that's the icebreaker Atka, and it's a reconnaissance expedition. It's going down to the South Pole area to make certain observations and to look for some bases. They will be back in April, and they will report back, and upon the information we get from that undertaking, we will base the bigger expedition that's to follow.
Is that very definitely planned, or is that...
That is being planned right now. So I'm willing to say to you that there will be a number of expeditions that will follow, I think, year after year, at the bottom of the world, because the government has really become interested.
Well, Admiral Byrd, I can understand, I think everybody can, the interest in the North Pole because it's so near our greatest challenger, Soviet Russia. But why this interest in the bottom of the world? Nobody living down there, is there?
No, it's pretty cold. There's only one permanent resident, that's the emperor penguin. The little ones live further north. I tell you one reason they're interested. It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world for science. That's why the scientific groups all over the nation are really interested. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime. Because it happens to be an untouched reservoir of natural resources. And, you know, as the world shrinks with an ever-increasing acceleration, far-flung places, once useless, like we thought the North Pole was, and no man's land, become very useful. the bottom of the world will be important, not only to us but to our allies.
I was going to ask you, does it have military importance?
It has some, and as the world shrinks, it will continue to shrink with an ever-increasing acceleration, thus bringing these places closer. And in the future, I can see a time when it will be very, very important strategically.
Well, has the development of air power increased the strategic importance of places like the
very much
Palma
so.
Peninsula, we'll say?
Very much so. Even now, if anything happened and we lost the Panama Canal, we would have to control the islands just north of Antarctica, which are part of Antarctica. Then between there and Cape Horn.
I've heard it said that there are 7 continents in the world, and one of them has never been seen by a woman, and that's Antarctica. Is that actually true?
Well, if the Palma Peninsula is an island, as far as I know, that's true. No woman's ever stepped foot upon the Antarctic continent, and it's the most peaceful place in the world.
Well, I'm sure that won't last very long.
23 years after.
I'm glad for this chance to tell you something about the top of the world, and perhaps something about the bottom of the world, too. The North Polar Sea is surrounded by frozen continents. The Antarctic continent is surrounded by frozen seas. The bottom of the world, is considerably colder than the top of the world. The south is as cold as...
Now, Admiral Byrd got to know that there's no bottom of the world. He being a Navy, he being a pilot, right? All pilots know that it's flat. You see nothing but a horizon. You see no curves. And the only way that the globe theory is really, to be honest with you, impressed indubitably in the subconscious regions of the collective mind of humanity is from the television of them teleporting a fake vision into the people's knowledge base and have them basing a reality, which actually is a false pretense of reality, off of improper intel and data. So he is a part of the control system, right? But the world at that time was a large part of it was undiscovered by man. Undiscovered meaning that there was a great reset. Man once knew all the kilometers of the earth, all latitudes and platitudes, right? And then there was thrust in a reset. Some say it was the Dark Ages. So Admiral Byrd promoting the globe theory, he has to. That's a part of the control system. That's why he's on TV. Anybody that goes on TV, you can best believe they are members of the control posse. You did.
Why did we go to the top of the world? As long as there remains anything unknown on the face of this earth we live on, man is going to go after it to try to find out what it is, to attempt to conquer it, and to learn how to live in it. Little did I think, when we flew to the North Pole in 1926, this area, the contiguous islands and waters to our flight to the pole, would become one of the most important strategic areas on the face of the earth.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
Contiguous islands, waters, to learn how to live in it. Little did I think, when we flew to the North Pole in 1926, this area, the contiguous islands, waters, to our flight to the pole, would become one of the most important strategic areas on the face of the earth.
Below is the actual North Pole, the top of the world. The plane returns after anxious hours to the expedition's base at Spitsbergen. In 16 hours, the flight had accomplished what Peary's heroic sled journey had taken more than a year to do. Admiral Byrd pilot Floyd Bennett had blazed an aerial trail across the Arctic.
I myself think we have a good chance to avoid war. But if we, unfortunately, God forbid, do have a war, much of it will be fought across the top of the world.
Listen, what was the name of that lady, something Arnhart, was supposedly the first lady that flew around the world? Okay, now check this out. We know that Earth is not round. Okay, so what are we decoding here? My guess is this. What if Miss Arnhart, and keep in mind, she supposedly disappeared, went down in a crash, but they never found her airplane. You dig? What if she flew over the goddamn ice wall and just didn't motherfucking come back? It is highly plausible, don't you think?
Across the pole, it is very important that we get prepared to fight in the bitter cold and to utilize mechanized units there.
See, and they just now started mechanizing units there. Actually, they was beat by Hitler. But why is he promoting the military position? Admiral Byrd is not saying some things. You see what I'm saying? Even he himself, remember the guest I just took about the Miss Arnhart flying over the ice wall and seeing some beautiful shit and like, fuck this, I ain't going back to right? Because even Admiral Byrd himself was amongst the people on the other side of the ice wall that sent him back with a message. And this is not the message. This is the scrubbed down, buffered down public message that the control system wants broadcasted to the people. However, and before he was silent, Admiral Byrd had a different tale of his experience on the other side of the ice wall. You did.
And to have bases
near the pole, because it is close, it has strategic position with reference to our potential enemy. As the world continues to shrink with an ever-increasing acceleration, the northern areas will become important for human habitation. It's becoming warmer up there. I believe myself the whole world is becoming warmer. Now, why is the South Pole important? Why do we go down there? It is because the bottom of the world is an untouched reservoir of natural resources.
Southward Ho, the start of one of Admiral Byrd's 6 expeditions to study the weird wonders of the amazing Antarctic. Later, Byrd charts the course as the ship, her masts outlined against a scarred ice wall, nears the end of a 14,000-mile journey. The sea is strewn with loose, broken ice, but the sturdy ship crunches steadily on to her improvised berth against the ice barrier. Ashore in Antarctica, the White Continent.
I am Butch Loxon. I'm a Los Angeles-based artist. I'm inspired by the Day of the Dead culture here in Los Angeles. I seem to connect with a lot of fans in Mexico.